we are now live on Facebook. That's the indication that we're getting from the system here.
Absolutely.
So excited to be joined by everyone who is in this group, in this platform, and who is watching, and the confirmation that you're really serious about your life, serious about taking charge of your financial destiny, taking charge of the resources that each and every one of us are endowed with. So today we're broadcasting through Zoom, so I don't have the usual benefit of following your comments live, but I think I'll find ways. But we just want to be able to just to know which part of the world you're watching us from and what you exactly want to learn. We're just going to do this under 3 minutes. Then today is mainly going to be an introductory session. Then for the next 5 days, you will enjoy what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking you through step by step the things that you need to do in order for you to change your life. And trust me, your presence here is a serious sign and affirmation that you want to change your life. And I'm so excited that you've managed to set aside some time for you to be with us today. For a few guys who are in Zoom, and the rest are watching via Facebook. So I want you to invite friends as well to be part and parcel of this conversation. You don't want to miss this thing for anything. You don't want to miss out this for anyone. Many people were the opportunity of following last year's conversations with Koma Simon. We really had some very interesting talks. So earlier on, we were saying, no, let's not do 2 hours. Because last time we ended up doing 2 hours. Yeah, we ended up doing 2 hours. It was phenomenal conversation. So today we really want to be very economic with time. But why we're doing this is because we've got the next 5 days. So this is going to be a free session for the next 5 days. However, you won't be doing a favor to your neighbors if they don't know about something like this. So why we made it public first on our public platform on Facebook was because we want to see we're serious. Then now we are broadcasting it in the group because we know you are serious. So we also want you to get to invite your friends, your family members, people that you know can really benefit from this learning. And I believe we're operating during some very interesting times. This is the information age where there's so much information at our disposal. And I believe in the information age, you shouldn't fail because there's so much opportunities for you to learn. So guys, because I promise you we are going to move faster, I want to introduce our guest. So the Diversify Your Income Challenge, the exercise, we co-hosted with my good friend, Koma Simon. And many of you guys had the opportunity of experiencing him last year. I loved the conversations. So I don't want to preempt what he's going to say, but I want you to introduce himself so that you can get to have an appreciation of who he is. And if you missed out, I want you to go back. We're also going to be sharing the links from last year's conversation so that you can relive the moments so that you can also get to learn. I believe learning is a process. It's a life process. It's a life journey. You don't get to a point where you say, I'm fully learned. No, it's continuous. So we're going to be sharing those links as well. Koma Simon, welcome to 2021. I know in 2021, we've never gone live. We've never done these shows where, of course, we'll be talking on WhatsApp.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For the people who are watching,
you know what?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'll say for the benefit of people who are seeing you for the first time, you know what, people want to get to connect, get to know you a bit before we go much into what we want to cover today.
Absolutely. Well, look, thanks for the warm welcome. I think you can see in the party mood. I'm in a happy mood because I've got the feeling that this is going to be something special. We've been going back and forth at this for over a year, and unfortunately with the pandemic, we weren't able to meet and do this as we would have liked to. So this is exciting to actually be kicking pressing that play button to get moving. I wanted to thank you for inviting me again. I think what's important here is that we have a common goal. We want to see change, right? We want to help not only the people around us, but our families and our colleagues and the people that make this world what it is. And we all have a special place for our country, Zimbabwe, but I appreciate that on this call, there's other people who are not from Zimbabwe. So if you're here, we will not break into some random language. We will try our best to maintain the English language for you. So that you can benefit. But look, for all the people that signed up, it's amazing. I think let's just take a moment to celebrate that there's over 1,600 people who are in this call at the moment. Should we just take a moment to celebrate that? Because like you said,
That's a milestone,
every,
that's a milestone.
it's a milestone. And to think last year, I mean, yes, we had thousands of people who watched the replay and then went into view, and that they kind of pushed us to do this thing. I'm excited to see that we've come this far. All right, well, look, we have a bunch of people in the Zoom room, as Arthur said. If you can turn your cameras on for a minute, if you can, it'll be nice to see you so we get to know each other. But for everyone watching on Facebook, it's exciting to have you guys. There's a lot of exciting content we're going to share this week. And I think Arthur and I have been just salivating on the quality and the density of that content. So what I want to start by doing today is just, there's a bit of a lag, but I hope we stay connected. What I want to start by doing today, just share a little bit about myself for those who don't know me. It'll be a little bit, and then we'll go into the program for what we're doing for the rest of this week together. And hopefully you get to know about me, but also you get to know a little bit about why this project has come together from this perspective. Arthur has already been doing this for a very long time, working towards helping and empowering people. So this is just I'm joining the race that he's already started here. Right, so I'm just gonna, I'm a presentation person. I tend to work by showing what we're working with. I'll just bring up this page here. All right, do you want to do a quick shout out on where people are? You asked that question earlier. Do you want to just
I did. Let me try to access the group so that I can just quickly be able to see a glimpse of where people are actually watching us from.
You know what? I can help you as you get to that place.
So right now, I'm noticing there's a lot
Harare, we've got what?
Beautiful. Yes, I can see the comments from Harare. That's Susan there. I can see you. Wow, beautiful. From Harare, Bristol. Patience from Bristol. Rose Zarifat. Oh, okay, I'm seeing someone saying you're my relative. That's interesting. Eh? I think we're connecting people as well. So no, I'm really excited. So I'm getting a number of inquiries through our Instagram. People were asking for the link. I think we might have to share the link as well on Facebook and Instagram for the benefit of those people who are not able to connect right now. We don't want people to on this wonderful platform. So Tavazo, please kindly assist today. So I know I interrupted you, Simon, from the presentation.
No worries.
I wanted to present, we worked together last year, so I also wanted to give a glimpse of people to cover what we did last year and definitely what the Africa 1K challenge is all about. Yes, over to you.
Absolutely. So I'll rush through this. My name is Simon Kaguramamba. You would have seen the name. It's one of the kind. There's a few of us out there. But ultimately, I'm UK based. I primarily focus on online businesses, entrepreneur. I do a lot of speaking engagements, and I'm ultimately a family guy. Here's my lovely family, and this is why I do what I do. But when you look at the background of what I've been working on, it's mainly technology entrepreneurship. This is an award I picked up local to here. I'm based out in Birmingham. If anyone's local to Birmingham, I'm out here. And there's a lot of things I get to see and experience as being a international based business, which I would
I think the sound is off.
I think so too. I don't know what has happened to Simon, but Simon, if you're able to connect, please come again. We've lost you. He was just introducing to you guys who he is, and I think those who watched last time have the opportunity of getting to know him and getting to experience what he's doing. But one of the things that I want us to remain focused on is the priority and the importance of learning, which is something that's really dear to me. Learn something new every day and never let go of an opportunity to learn. I'm just waiting for Simon to reconnect so that he can continue. So I know many people who are watching were also part and parcel of Africa 1K Challenge last year. The testimonies are quite tremendous, quite exciting, seeing people's lives change. And I really want to see more and more people taking charge as well. So Simon, you're back. I've had to do a bit
back. I apologize.
No, that's fine.
Filling in. I apologize. confirm you can still hear me and see my screen.
We can hear you. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So I was saying we basically help people in the application process across the world in terms of applications. Why I wanted to show this slide is there's something called a problem and a solution, and we've managed to find a way to organize a problem and create a solution. That's what the business does. But this really brings to light some of the things we're doing now. We run a series of businesses, just to give you some credibility around what it is we actually do. So we work with the NHS, we work with lots of international organizations, and in the education sector as well. Just to give you a fly-by view of the business itself and the credentials behind it is, so software as a service is basically software you have on the internet, and it runs off the back of the internet. We've got about 19 members of staff, and I've highlighted the fact that a majority of those are actually 50% of our business is actually Zimbabweans, with a massive group of them being in Zimbabwe. That's an important thing to highlight for later. And we have customers in over 45 different countries. I thought I should mention that. So I didn't just start here. The business started off a very long time ago, and I've been doing a lot of this stuff for a very long time. From 2002, I've tried selling airtime. I've had businesses that have done really well. Some have not done very well. And I just wanted to show you that as an entrepreneur, you go through a lot of things and you experience different things at each part of the journey. And I've got all the checkers and marks to show that. I thought I should just share that bit. So why Zimbabwe? Spotlight on Zimbabwe. 2019, I took a young sabbatical, and that's around the same time that we really got to connect, Arthur, and really start talking about the stuff, which was in how do we invest in the youth of our country and the Africa in general. This is the team we have in Zimbabwe. We spent a lot of time together during that time learning to do things. How do we promote and educate them to focus on remote-based working? Because ultimately we are a remote-based employer in that business and other businesses as well. And how do we enable them to make a decent income? That's really what we're trying to achieve here by what we're going to be doing. So at that time, I set up something called the Africa 1K Challenge, which has now had, I think we've now just crossed over 350 successful students who've gone through the program. And that's we're basically on a mission to help 1 million young people. And I say young, I mean young at heart. Some of you in here are not 12 years old or 15 years old, but you are young at heart. You've got energy to get things done. And we're really out there to help and empower you individuals and everyone out there. So that led to what we did last year, which was how do we focus on teaching people about what's out there in the world? How do we enable you to start to see the potential that's in you and how the world starts to see you? And then last year we did this wonderful masterclass, which was called Discover the Secrets Behind How Others Are Making Money in 2020. Were there any people in that event? You want to just do a show of hands? Because we do have people who've come back for the second time.
Oh, that's really exciting, eh? So if you're in there and you're part and parcel of the Africa 1K Challenge last year for 2020, please, you can also post on the chat. Then I'm going to be able to read that. If you don't want everyone to read, you can send the message directly to me. Then I'm going to be reading on that for you. So whilst we're waiting for the messages, please, you can proceed to go on to cover that.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
So this is the slide that almost got me in trouble because some people took offense to this. I said, I started making money after I decided to forget about Zimbabwe. And I know it sounds very strong, but what the point of this slide was really about this statement here: go where the need is greatest. That business you saw that is now in 45 different countries was actually built and designed for Zimbabwe. However, I realized very quickly that if we didn't think globally as a business, we weren't going to go far. Unfortunately, I was able to come out here and establish and do what I had to do. But ultimately, I want you to have this in the mind. This is what we talked about last year. I'm just giving you a glimpse of what you will watch later. That Zimbabwe is a real small population. It's 0.18% of the world population. Yeah. And what that means is that there's a whole 99% more and more people out there who are not in our little country. And if you're not from Zimbabwe, I want you to think of your country in the same way. Your country is just a small part of the world ecosystem. Yep. And the idea is that if you reach out of your world ecosystem, you will achieve a lot more, even with what you're doing in your local environment.
Yep.
So we also went through this idea that everyone has skills and abilities to make money wherever you are. And we looked at students. We looked at the fact that as students, you have knowledge, you have energy, you have fresh skills. Business people, you're able to sell. You're already selling services. You've got experience. You've got insights. Employers, you're committed to your job. You show up every day for work. You're loyal. You're a doer. All of those things. And then we've got what we call the hustlers, the people who just smell a deal everywhere. Eh? The people who see the opportunity, the people who network and make things happen. We have all of that in amongst this group of people who are on this call. So the emphasis here was where you are, because you don't have to move to a different place anymore, like I had to do 10, 15 years ago to make this happen. It's now possible from wherever you are. So how is that possible? We talked about this last time, Arthur, and you had a really good way of seeing this, which is technology has connected us. We now are extremely connected.
You're right. The boundaries are academic now.
Absolutely. And if you think about it, we've spent so many years as a continent, or even just as people investing in our education. This is time for us to use that education and establish on the outside without having to feel locked by our environment, our physical environment.
You're right.
This is the slide where we talked about just how connected we are. So we use this wonderful example of my Gaga being the lady who has some goats and she wants to sell them. I want to just show the people on this call who are thinking, I'm still not convinced, you know, what is going on here? You have some goats, and traditionally my Gaga could only sell her goats to the lady down the road or the people in her area, or family members or friends of family members. What has changed because of technology? And for some of you, this is obvious, but for some of you, this will be the moment of, okay, I get it, is the fact that Magaga could now post photos of those goats on Facebook. From Facebook, a young man in wherever in the world logs in, sees those goats, thinks, oh, I want to buy some for my mother, and is able to do that through Western Union or whatever bank they use or transfer system, and Magaga makes some money. That wasn't possible a long time ago, purely because we weren't so connected. Magaga did not have a phone that could post to Facebook. She didn't even have a Facebook account. So just if you look at this simple example, you can see how even physical things are now moved to being very, they've moved to a place where we can achieve a lot more with them. But for this program, we're not going to be talking about physical things specifically. We're going to talk about soft skills and various other things that you can kind of bring together and make happen. So I'm going to run through these slides because you will see them on the other presentation, which is, what are the 4 ways people were making money last year? If you remember, we looked at sharing specialist knowledge, creating and selling other people's products, influence, entertainment, solving a problem, and offering skills. And then we touched on the fact that there was the whole world of writing books, blogging, speaking like Arthur does, and doing what he does really well, teaching. These are all ways that people are making money last year, and this year it has gone even bigger because of COVID. What's interesting is COVID is, well, the pandemic has actually caused people to do more of this as opposed to less of it. So we're in a much stronger position. Buying and selling, making and selling, network marketing. We went through the detail of this stuff. So please do go back and watch these videos. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. We talked about making music and entertainment, celebrity, inspiration, comedy. Hopefully these are faces you relate to and you can understand how they've got there. And then we have solving problems, you know, digital skills, digital solutions, software services, and remote working. Now I'm going to move from this very quickly because I don't want anyone to feel like we're trying to confuse you. Actually, this is the last slide. Publishing, consulting, creative, and remote working. By the end of the program, you will know what some of these things are and you will know where you want to go. I wanted to just finish off this section of our session by just talking about the testimonials that people had. We've had to leave some of the names out for various reasons, but amazing. I'm glad I started this journey with your guidance. Thank you. We had people who found moments where it just opened their eyes to this new way of understanding. I don't know if you can see these up on your end.
Yeah, sure. I can see it was a real eye-opener for me, and I'm working on it to be a game changer of my life. I really appreciate it, and I feel your dedication was far much more than the little investments we put. Quite amazing feedback. May the Lord bless you and continue to take you places. Amazing light bulb moments there. Thank you so much, Coach. And still on testimonies, there is a comment coming here from a certain lady. I won't mention the name because I promise confidentiality. She's saying, I was part of Africa 1K Challenge. I learned how to navigate the online space and also grew my brand on digital literacy. And now I train in entrepreneurship program. So Africa 1K opened my eyes to move into the online space. Exciting testimonies coming there. You see, one thing that I'm really enjoying is these are ordinary people who are coming and they are doing already what they were always doing, but they're simply doing it in a different way. And so if you're a teacher, for example, by profession, you still have that skill. Now it's just the how bit that's changing. And now your mind is being expanded. Your mind is being grown to see the endless possibilities. So if it comes back to me some few years from now, I'll not be able to be doing this conversation because I never knew what Zoom was. So I was introduced to Zoom when corporates were telling me, no, we can't meet, let's do Zoom. Then I realized, no, this thing is actually very, very convenient. So rather than me driving 4 or 5 hours for a talk, I'm now simply driving 5 minutes or walking 5 minutes to a desk with a ring light. Then I'm doing exactly the very same thing that I was doing. It is so nice. I've had the privilege of doing some back-to-back conversations. So just finishing 30 minutes, you're doing the next 30 minutes. And these are the resources that we all had. So guys, for the next 5 days, please, I'm begging you, for the next 5 days, I'm begging you. This is very expensive, what we're doing. We charge good money. But for the next 5 days, I'm asking you to invite a friend, invite a relative, especially those who usually ask money from you. Invite them just to come and learn. Because those 5 days are going to be loaded in terms of what we're going to be covering. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to give you an overview of what you're going to expect for the next 5 days and how that is going to impact and change your life. So back to you, Simon. What are we looking at day number 1? By the way, guys, these are teasers. Don't ask for details. Details are going to come next week. That's starting tomorrow. So just wait.
Is someone asking for details already?
Yeah, obviously. Yes, let's go ahead.
It's normal. But look, let's get a good feel of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So the week has been structured to really give you tangible results by the end of the week, right? Yeah. One of the things we loved about what we did last year is that even after what we classed as just conversations between us, we were able to deliver such great value that people felt that they could walk away and still do something. And, I'm fortunate enough to now have access to a lot of the people who participated there because they went on to join another group. And we now hear such amazing testimonies. And every time someone tells me something, I feel like I can't believe that's how close they were to their success. They took that one step and they were there. Now, one of the things which is really important to everyone's success on the program, even to date, is the idea of having a plan, right? And we're going to start by having a plan. In fact, your homework today, which you will get homework. So those who came here thinking it's just a free ride to watch some entertainment, unfortunately, it's not the case. You're going to get some homework every single day. And we do have a special something for the people who do who submit their homework. So we'll also be talking about that shortly. But let's just focus on what's happening on Monday. So Monday is all about resetting the mindset. We're going to be focusing purely on how do we get you to believe and understand the reality that is currently in your environment. Before we even tell you what's possible, you'll find that the barriers that are in front of you are primarily because of how you've seen the world up until this moment. And the information you will receive, some of it will just feel like, how is that even possible? Do you want to touch on that, Arthur? Because I think this is an area that you do very well.
You're right. I was actually watching TDJs just now, the live broadcast from his Dallas headquarters. He was talking about the guy who was sitting for 38 years. He's asked a very simple question: do you want to be well? And guess what? He gives an answer that's off tangent. And what I was talking about was what he calls faulty belief systems. We can't change your life until we change how you think, what you believe. So why Monday is very important, because all the information that we're going to share with you on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the bonus on Saturday is not going to make sense until the thinking has been corrected. So resetting is, we're saying, let's go back to the basics. Let's reformat the hard drive. And once we reformat the hard drive, let's start putting the right information, because that's the information that's going to liberate you. That's going to set your mind free. And I like what Simon is saying, the Proverbs, as he thinks in his heart, so easy. So the mindset bit is, for me, I think it's quite exciting. We're going to dwell on that in greater detail on Monday, that's tomorrow, and just get to help each other to go back to the settings. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that moves us nicely into what we're doing, which is, if you want that detail, that nugget, it's all about assets.
Yeah.
Now, we all understand assets. In fact, I think we're masters at holding on to assets. I've just had a recent conversation with a good friend of mine, literally an hour ago, and he was saying, my old man has, like, many cars sitting in his yard, and he calls them assets, right? And I said, and we laughed together, because in this generation, we now know assets are not just physical things, your cars and things like that. We have things called digital assets now. And it's not what you will search on Google and find out, because this is where we get it all wrong. You look at digital assets and you'll hear that digital assets are things that companies own. But every human being walking today has digital assets already, and they have digital assets they've yet to create that are so close. And if you look at the students from last year, a lot of them walked away saying, I didn't appreciate how close this was to what I'm doing. And I think that's the bit that we're going to be working on helping there. I think we lost my screen there for a second. So that's day 2. Wednesday, we now work on aligning your digital assets to the problems and challenges that the world has. Does that make sense?
That's business. So you see, one thing that people don't understand when it comes to business is your relevance lies in your ability to meet human problems. So what are the problems that are facing the world, and how can you solve them from a digital perspective, using the digital space, using the assets that you have? And I think that's a very interesting follow-up to Tuesday, where you need first to get to know what you already have. And once you know what you already have, now let's position that and put you in a position where you're now able to say, okay, this is what I have. These are the problems that we have. And how can I actually get to use it and to monetize it? Interesting. Please go on.
Indeed. No problem. That's perfectly written. I want to give an example of a digital asset we all have that we give away every day. We all have, for example, I'll give an example of a young man who lives in the middle of the rural areas. Every day he wakes up and he takes a photograph of, because he's now got a phone in his hand, and he walks around taking photos, whether he's rearing animals, or he's in the fields, or just birds that he sees randomly. When you think of that, you think, well, okay, those are just photos on his phone. However, to a guy sitting in Finland who wants to develop the new brochure for an NGO, he's looking for an African photo that can be relatable to what he's trying to create. That young man is currently sitting on, an asset which is digital, which is photos he takes as photos, whereas to the other gentleman, these are assets that can make their campaign be successful across the world. So we have this, and they're willing to pay. That's the ultimate bit. And we're sitting in this place now where there's a lack of information from individuals, especially in Africa. We don't have a lot of that, and we're in such a wonderful position because it's a secret, because it hasn't been out there. It's still a secret. Can I get a good photograph of a bird that's only found in your area, in your part of the country? That's something you don't normally think of as a digital asset, but that's an example of digital asset. We'll go through a number of digital assets beyond that, but that's just giving you a real. Has anyone actually got that? If we just look in the comments, did someone have their light bulb moment in that moment? Just in case we're still going over your heads. I hope not.
No. People are following. People are following.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move into Thursday. Thursday is all about how we monetize. Arthur, you touched on this. How do we turn those digital assets into something you can get paid for?
Sure.
How do we do that? And if you think about it, we've identified it on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we've identified and shown you how to even take skills you have today and turn them into digital assets. We've gone in and shown you how to assign them to a problem that is global. right?
Yep.
So suddenly your problem is not only 2 or 3 people in your local area. You're now solving the problem for 1 million people across the world.
You're right.
We're going to show you how to monetize it, package it on the internet so someone can buy it from you. And at this point, I'll take away the idea of a photograph. It could be anything. Digital assets vary so much. So that's what we'll be doing on Thursday. And then Friday, we conclude. It's always the end at some point, but Friday is all about how do we tie that all together so that you can actually see some action out of it. And I'll say this very loud and clear, that some people will walk away after Thursday and Friday feeling like, I now know what I need to do next. And that's one of the biggest things we're trying to get for you. Say, look, I now know what to do next. We want to decipher the idea of, I've got nothing to sell. I can only sell what I have and what I know, and take that to another level and say to you, you know what? Suddenly the world is open to you, and it's open to your eyes as well.
Right.
Yeah. And then Saturday is our bonus. We often have a meeting where we get all our previous students to come together and just talk about what they're doing. It's always exciting to hear what people are doing. It literally blows your mind what people have done with this information that we're dealing with, you know, from making money from consultancy, making money from publishing. The number of people from last year who've now published on Amazon is phenomenal. And to think they were so close, they had the information, they had the ability, but maybe they were lacking that final push, that kind of connecting the dots, which is what Africa 1K Challenge is all about. How do we connect the dots for someone who's thinking, I know I've got something, but I don't know who wants it, and I don't know how to sell it on the internet. That's what we're trying to help. And that'll be the bonus on Saturday. So we've rushed through that, Arthur. I think that's primarily pretty much
we actually worked with 45 minutes today. I think we've been very disciplined. So guys,
too much
discipline. I think you've seen the program. Number one, we're starting on Monday, resetting the mindset. I love this. Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. I want you to not to miss this. You really love it. Identifying your digital assets and aligning your digital assets with challenges and problems. That's Wednesday. Thursday, how do you monetize? How do you get money from that? So Facebook is actually making money. We're operating on the digital space. Google is making money. We're all operating in the digital space. YouTube is making money. We're all operating on the digital space. Netflix is making money. We're all operating in the digital space. Logan Green, the guy behind Zimride and Lyft, a guy who got inspiration from Glenora in Zimbabwe. He is running a $24 billion business using the digital space. So how do we get to do that? That's why even Osea says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So once we get to understand and to embrace the information, our lives will change. So please make it a point to invite somebody. I want each and every person to be part and parcel of this conversation. Why did we say let's do a group? Because you know what? Our page, we reach quite a huge audience, but you see, our interest really is not in the number of views, it's in the number of people who are willing to take a step of faith and to step out and say, I want to change my life and I want to grow. So ensure that you've got a notebook close by. Tomorrow we're starting. This has just been an introductory session, and I'm looking forward to an exciting week of learning. We've never done this, by the way. 1 week every day where we're coming to you and say, let's learn, let's empower each other. And by the end of the 5 days, our hope is that you would have managed to identify something that you can do, get started, and guess what? We make Africa great altogether. Go Simon, thank you so much for sparing time. I know you're a phenomenally business person. But any final remarks?
Thank you.
We terminate the conversation.
Yes. We forgot to give the homework, so this is the next part.
Yeah. True. Homework.
But I want to just mention those two things as well. I think you touched on it there. That the group is an important thing because it forces us to really get the serious-minded people to take that action. And we don't want noise. We want action. It'll be amazing to do this again next year and find out that half the group here has done something with what they learned this week. That's what we're looking for. So the piece of homework you're going to get is actually around goal and vision setting. Now, there is it's a piece of work that'll be posted inside the Facebook group. So if you've ever been, depending on how you access Facebook, you will see posts under what we call guides. Now, if you do it on a desktop, you'll see an area called guides, and I think it's on the mobile as well. Inside there, we'll be posting daily homework, and there are prizes every single day we meet. So we're trying to get you to act, guys, because at the end of the day, if you don't act, nothing changes. You've pitched up, you've shown up, you've said some things, you've been shook a little bit, but you haven't acted. We need you to act. So piece of the homework today will go out. If you submit your homework on time tomorrow, you stand a chance of winning one of the prizes that we give every single day. That's enough. That's enough to say there's something there. What the prize will be a lovely surprise. If I can just also ask if there's any questions, maybe we can take a few while I finish off now, Arthur, from the Facebook group, because after this we'll carry on with the Zoom VIP group. But I just wanted to ask if there's any questions in the Facebook. Maybe we can just address a few of those. I'll just move across to our Facebook questions here and see if there's anything in there.
So really appreciate your hard work. It's actually feedback coming here. Really appreciate your hard work, guys. That's AG Wendy. Thank you so much for that. Wow, homework. Naomi Chikumira. Many are not questions here. Roger Princess. I have so many questions. She hasn't typed. So the Roger Princess, please, you can type the questions. We'll be excited to respond to that. Esther Chisango, I have a small amount of money. I want to start something. That's why I think you should not miss tomorrow. So because we're going to start from basics. You know, when we're doing these things, we don't do assumptions to assume that you know. No, we want to start from the basics. Where can you start from and how can you start? So someone was asking in the Zoom, sorry, what group? So we have a group you've managed to register, which is on Facebook called Diversify Your Income. Now it's on 1.7 followers. That's interesting. So we will be also broadcasting from there. But please, Simon is going to explain the VIP group, which I would want you to be part and parcel of it. It's very important. See, one of the things that I've noticed from the time that I've been speaking is people can get all inspired and end up doing nothing. It's not enough just to be inspired. I think inspiration should just be a starting point, but we need to see solid and tangible action. So this year, I set a goal to publish 3 books. So I'm very excited. My 3 books are now in Zimbabwe as we speak right now. So I'm taking delivery tomorrow. That has been a goal. But imagine if I had just ended with the inspiration, that I feel so inspired to write and so forth. It wouldn't be anyway. So I really want us to go beyond that. Ed and I can see, that's clapping in that. Thought it was
yes.
It was a question.
she knows she's celebrating the fact that you're about to publish. Amazing, the 3
No,
books.
not about to publish. They are already published.
They're already published. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they're already published. So guys, we want you to be part and parcel of the VIP. Please just explain the VIP group.
Yeah, let me explain that.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people who had questions on this we weren't able to answer them in the way that they needed to be.
Yeah.
So before I start, the VIP club is really, what we've done is said, we know that a lot of questions come out of these things and it's hard to support everyone. And it's also very difficult to get the people who are really serious. Some people are just here to while up time, unfortunately. And I know some of you will pass away and not come back, but I hope you've heard this today and it's inspired you to come back. Some people have just gone on the bandwagon, but there's a group of people who need that extra, who know the value of this type of information from either from having done it before or from doing it themselves. They need that extra nugget. And those people I self-identify as, I want to know a little bit more because I'm ready to jump. And those people, we give them the opportunity to do that in the VIP club.
Yeah.
It is open to joining even now. We got until Wednesday. After Wednesday, we have to close it because then it will be no value to you. It's $50 US to be in the VIP club. And whilst you're in there, we are going to give you all our attention. So after this call right now, we're going to get into the VIP club and we'll nurture and answer the specific questions that people have. It's day 1, so there might not be lots of questions, but we're going to get to know each other. We found that those conversations is where nuggets drop, where people have these moments of, wow, I get it now, because they asked the question in a very different way, or they heard someone else being answered in a different way.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to mention is that, the details are over here. They'll be in the group as well. This is where if you want to upgrade or if you want to go EcoCash, you just send a message to the WhatsApp number there. The one thing I just wanted to mention to close off this area is that for anyone sitting here and thinking, I'm a business, how does this apply to me? or I'm a student, how does it apply to me? I want to just touch on a couple of things and then we can close off. So from a business perspective, you probably have more digital assets than an individual has. And you don't, and often we don't take value of those digital assets because we don't know where it is that those digital assets are valued higher than in your hard drive or in your mind or in pure insights, right? You think of a business and you think of all the things that you do on a daily basis, the things that you experience as a business, from running HR to creating systems to manage your business. Those are valuable assets. We're going to be talking about that type of stuff. So if you're sitting and thinking, how do I do that? We'll talk about it. Scaling. I know a lot of businesses, when you registered, you were saying, we want to know how to scale the business. You know, on the presentations you watch later, I share on how I scaled my business in 5 years from literally 2 customers to being in 45 different countries with many customers, government level type contracts. It took some actions to get to there. We will touch on those things. For students, we've just finished the Africa 1K challenge for High Life with High Life Foundation, literally a few months ago. And it's amazing to see how quickly some of those students picked it up and are now earning money online, literally right now. There are individuals that have shocked me and shocked themselves, you know, who will say, wow, I didn't know I could do this quickly. And it's not an issue of, we're saying there's free money out there. It's you put the work in, you will get the results. So if you're a student sitting there thinking, how do I make the most of this? Show up, be present, and just take as much of this as you can, and then move to the next level when you're ready, and we'll be able to help you. And the final group of people were the employed people who are thinking, I need a side hustle. I need something that I can do that can earn me an extra $50 a month or even $100 a month. I mentioned it before, a lot of people who are in employment, I used to be in employment as well. Well, 20 years ago was my last job, weirdly, but of being employed. But even then, I remember I showed up early every morning. I had commitment. I knew things that the boss didn't know in some cases. I was able to tell them how to fix problems that they couldn't see. So think of it from that perspective. You have such amazing insights into how businesses run, how things operate. And some of you are sitting there thinking, but I'm not being used to my full capacity. This is an opportunity for you to start thinking about how you take that knowledge and that insight and to convert it into digital assets that other people will find valuable. So I just want to encourage everyone to see some value in if you're in one of those parties. And if you're just a hustler, look, there'll be loads of opportunities. We'll bump into things, we'll be like, well, I can't believe that exists. I want to be in it. Those things will happen as well. All right. Well, look, on that note, I think we've done so well. You know, I was rushing today because we said 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45.
43 minutes.
2 minutes. So I'm really excited. Someone is asking, may I have the aggregation number? I think you might have to display that that slide again. So those who want to register for the VIP class, please do that, because we're also going to really have some conversations after these ones. Was the focus really is not to have so many people, but just a few people we can also get to work with. That way it's going to enable you to get to learn and get more attention as well. So those are the details for those who want to sign up. Use the links there. If you want to sign up, you will be assisted. If you're having any technical challenges, please just inbox us. We'll be able to reach to you. So for today, I think we're okay. Any final words, or we can now proceed to, we're going to now go offline on Facebook, then we're going to stay on Zoom. For those who are joining us on Facebook, let's link up tomorrow, but make it a point to be part of the VIP class so that we can also get to have more and more interactions on Zoom and the other platforms that we're going to be using. So thank you so much to the Facebook audience. See you tomorrow.